Welcome back to Out and About magazine. We are down here at the amazing Shangri-La Hotel, and we're here with a more amazing person. We're here with Lara Tabet. Thank you for joining us, Lara. We look forward to this chat.
It's such a pleasure to be with you on today's show, and thank you so much for having me, Marcia.
Well, for those who live under a rock, I'm sure they do if they don't know you, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm originally Lebanese, born and brought up in Dubai. I majored in hotel management in Switzerland for a few years, came back to Dubai to join the family business, which I did for a very, very long time, until I was headhunted by the first English language TV station that was setting up here in the region, known as InTV, where I ended up having 7 shows of my own, which I produced and presented. Conducted over 7,000 interviews with celebrities from all around the world, Hollywood, Bollywood, Arab cinema, and then got into the luxury brand business where I became a brand ambassador for some of the top luxury brands from different parts of Europe. And then I was asked to join the Arab Fashion Council, where I'm the official spokesperson, where we organize 2 Arab Fashion Weeks here in Dubai every year during the month of March as well as October. And I'm a philanthropist. I do a little bit of charity work with different organizations around the world. Plus, I'm a member of the UNHCR, which is part of the United Nations. So that's Lara Tabet in a nutshell.
That's Lara Tabet in a big nutshell. You do so much. Thank you for what you do for humanity. That is great. It is amazing to have people who don't just look great, but also give back to the community.
You're too kind. Thank you.
So tell us about what you're doing lately. Tell us about your new platform and how and why you started that.
Absolutely. So, being part of the Arab Fashion Council, being involved with so many fashion designers, not only locally but also on a global level, I decided to set up Arab Fashionpreneur, which is a platform not only for startups but well-established businesses that are associated with the fashion industry to help them achieve their targets and goals and take their businesses to the next level. So we do that through regional and international workshops, conferences, seminars, through hosting networking events, introducing them to the right partners, investors, clients, to help them basically achieve their targets and goals. And like I said earlier, take their businesses to the next level. There's a lack in the market when it comes to connecting designers with certain retailers, certain outlets where they see themselves being in. And that's where I come in and help them do that.
And nobody to do fashion better than you.
Thank you
Right?
so much. That is a compliment coming from you.
Well,
You know how much I love your fashion sense and
I-
your fashion style, so it is a true compliment.
thank you. I try. I learn from the best.
You're too kind. Thank
Now,
you.
tell us about a little bit more about who you would like to come to your Arab Entrepreneur platform.
Absolutely. So, our fashionpreneur is not only for fashion designers and people related to the fashion industry, it's for anybody and everybody out there who is an entrepreneur. So, it could be, let's say, a banker, or somebody in wealth management, or somebody who's an engineer, a fashion designer, a makeup artist, a photographer. It's not restricted to the fashion industry. Yes, it does have the title of Arab fashionpreneur that people automatically assume that it's fashion industry, but I think there's a fashion statement to be made in each and every industry and sector out there. So it's not restricted to the fashion industry alone.
And where do we find you?
I'm available on Instagram. I have my Instagram account, Luxury with Lara. I'm available on LinkedIn as Lara Tabet. I'm available on Facebook as Lara Tabet. I've got 2 other Instagram accounts, Lara Tabet Gallery and Lara Tabet Official. And people can reach out to me. I'm getting a lot of inquiries via LinkedIn. It seems to be a very, very popular platform where people find you in order to collaborate, work, and achieve their goals. So I think a lot of people have approached me via LinkedIn.
Okay, fantastic. Now, we know that entrepreneurship is way bigger than it was before. And
Oh, yeah.
there's so many more people who want to want to come out of the 9 to 5 and come into owning their time. Lots of
Absolutely.
people say they want to own their time. It is a very difficult job to be an entrepreneur.
It is.
So, what advice would you give to a new entrepreneur or someone who's just thinking of coming into entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. So you definitely have to start off by loving what you do. You've got to be passionate about it. Because if you're going to leave a job that's paying you well, where you're okay in, it's got to be something definitely better to take that risk factor and actually leave your security. I call it the security 9 to 5 because it's a regular income that you're getting on a regular basis. So to leave that, you've got to definitely have a passion for what you do, love what you do. You've got to live it, breathe it, give it your 300% commitment. And I think that's the key to be a successful entrepreneur. Hard work. We know with hard work, the sky's the limit. Perseverance, determination, and never giving up, never surrendering. A lot of people will say, keep your dream on hold. Take it further in 2 years from now when you've got a bit more finances or when you're a little bit more stable to take it to the next level. Don't listen to them. If your heart is in it, go out there, fulfill your dreams, don't surrender, achieve your targets and goals. And that's my advice to all the entrepreneurs out there. But of course, start off with passion, because without passion, nothing is achievable.
Fantastic. Because the hard work that it takes, if you're not passionate, as you go along, you'll break. So
Absolutely.
You have to go back to that why. Why did I start this? Why do I want to do this? And what do I want to achieve? So,
absolutely. And not only that, I mean, is there a better feeling in the world than getting paid for something that you love? It doesn't even feel like work anymore because you enjoy it so much and you're getting paid for it. So I think that is the perfect combination.
Thank you for that great advice. Now, media guru. Media has changed so much over the years, especially with social media. What advice would you give to people like me who are in media about how we pivot? That's the new word. How do we get better at providing media services for the new market? Because the market is completely different to what it was before.
Absolutely. So the market is extremely dynamic, very fast moving. Content has to be fresh at all times. You cannot publish something that happened 2 months ago today. And I see a lot of the media companies doing that. So it's got to be fresh content. It's got to be up to date. And you're basically allowing people to interact with the latest trends, technologies, with whatever that's going on out there in the world. So it's got to be fresh, reliable, trustworthy content. That is, for me, the most important thing. Not delivering a message where it's not based on reality or true facts that are happening. If you know what I mean.
Yes, no, I really do. People are more these days into connecting with the real side of people and the real side of companies. People are now buying people rather than buying products. So if you market yourself very well, then people tend to want to gravitate to you, and they feel like there's a sense of trust and a sense of, I see what that person is doing, so I'm going to try and support them along the journey. So thank you for that advice.
Pleasure.
What are you doing now in the media industry?
What am I doing now in the media industry? So basically, Expo is around the corner. It's a few days away. I'm definitely going to be very heavily involved in that. We're going to be covering as much local content as we can for a lot of TV stations out there that want to purchase content and air it on their channels. Since Expo is going to be I think the greatest show to take place in history, which is a show we've been waiting for the last 2 years. Unfortunately, it had to be postponed due to COVID, but now it's there, and there's going to be quite a bit to cover. So we have people coming in from all around the world, as you know, Marsha. So we've got presidents, prime ministers, rulers of different countries here in the region that are flying in, especially for Expo. A lot of transactions are going to be taking place during those 6 months. So there is quite a bit of content to cover, and I think that's where I'm going to be for the next 6 months, media-wise.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that all the media really wants to be there at the moment as well. Plus, there's a few fashion events that are happening as well. I'm working as well with the UNHCR. I'm on the board of the UNHCR, so we're planning a very, very big event as well here in the region. We specialize in assisting refugees, mainly students all around the world, by giving them a better break at life, by providing them scholarships to get an education, to go to university, which of course gives them a great start to their lives. So that's what we're working on. That's the next big event, media-wise as well, other than Expo, plus a few fashion events in the pipeline.
No, that's fantastic. Now you're a product of Dubai. You're a child of Dubai. This country has given us so much. Tell us, why Dubai? Why should people come to Dubai? Why should you invest in Dubai?
There's a million and one reasons why people should come to Dubai. It is not only the most beautiful city in the world, it is the safest city in the world. I think Dubai is the only city that I know where you have over 220 nationalities residing in peace and harmony in one place. It's the best place to bring up your kids. You never have to worry. You can leave your mobile phone in the restaurant, come back 3 hours later, and you'll still find it there. I don't think that happens anywhere in the world. The vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, what he's been able to create and transform in the region, from this beautiful city that used to be one of the most beautiful deserts in the world, to the city that hosts the tallest tower in the world, the largest shopping mall with over 1,200 retail outlets, the leading airlines of the world, whether it's Emirates Airlines or Etihad, based in Abu Dhabi, etc., etc. The list is never ending. So, there's many reasons to come to Dubai. I mean, for me, Dubai is home. As you know, I'm born and brought up here. So I see my future here. I see my children's future and their children's future here. This is the most beautiful place in the world. And thanks to the leaders that they've created this beautiful paradise, I call it, that we all live in.
It sure is. And we've been able to achieve so much that probably in our home countries we wouldn't even think of those opportunities.
So true. It is definitely the land of opportunities, especially for women.
Yes.
I mean, the equality between men and women here in the region is just unbelievable. You've got women in some of the most senior positions. I mean, we have female ministers. We have some of the women that are, in very many of the leading positions here in the region. So, it's definitely the land of opportunities, not only for women, but of course for men as well. So,
And we are very grateful. We're very grateful to the rulers who welcome us with open arms and give us those opportunities.
Absolutely.
Now let's switch gears for a little bit. The pandemic is, we hope, inshallah, coming to an end. It's been dealt with amazingly well in the UAE.
So
you know what? When I speak to my family, see the difference in how it's been dealt with here and in London and Jamaica. I feel so blessed to be able to be in this country. Now, mental health has been at the forefront, before COVID, and during COVID, it just skyrocketed because people were suddenly left alone. They were without family. And for men, mental health was always kind of a secret, So I want you to tell me, if you had a message to men, now how do you get better at recognizing the need to look after your mental health?
I think in order, not only for men, this message is for men and women. Mental health is extremely important. It should be addressed and looked into if one does suffer from it. But I think the key to improving one's mental health is definitely through exercise, eating the right food, making sure that you have a life coach or somebody that you can pick up the phone, a buddy. We don't have to have a life coach, but a buddy, somebody that I can just pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm not feeling well. Give me some advice on this, that, or I'm stuck somewhere. Can you help me overcome that? So having a buddy, having a confidant, somebody that you can confide in is very important, somebody you can speak to, open up to, and definitely having a proper regime, a proper diet, exercising. Exercise is extremely important because that's how the blood circulates, and that's what helps not only our physical health, but also our mental health. So I think for me, those are the three key things to work to anybody's mental health.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And it is something that we all need to pay close attention to, because those sudden breakdowns, they do come. And sometimes we don't recognize that we're having a breakdown, and just to have that other person to say, this is probably what's happening to you, and, let's work through this is so important.
Absolutely. Somebody you can talk to. And don't forget the amount of fear that was injected into people, families, children, men and women during this pandemic through the media. I don't want to name any channels, but of course the big media tycoons. I mean, the fear they were injecting globally, and it is a global pandemic that really destroyed a lot of people's mental health. So I think to overcome that and to get back to where we were prior to COVID is just focusing on yourself, investing in yourself, whether it's through cuisine, the right food, exercise, talking to people. Don't keep it inside. Talk about it. If you have a problem, talk about it. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family members. There's no shame in not feeling well mentally. You shouldn't feel shame. You shouldn't feel that you're less than anyone out there. On the contrary, talk about it, express it. It helps you overcome it. Actually, if you talk about it.
Thank you so much for that advice. And we've come to the end of our little catch up. We will catch up again for sure.
I hope so.
I am sure you're going to be doing a lot more. So there'll always be an opportunity to talk and to learn about what you're doing that's new. Now, in finishing, I usually finish with the same question. Is there a quote that you live by and why?
I have many quotes that I live by. My favorite one is never judge anyone before walking a mile in their shoe. Another very, very important one is behind every successful woman is a tribe of other women, because I am all about women empowerment. And treat others as you would want to be treated. So for me, those are my favorite quotes. Those are the first three that come to my mind right now.
Now, we said that was the last question, but you just mentioned something that I want to touch on. I know you're involved with the Woman Entrepreneur Summit, the Female Entrepreneur Summit that's coming up next year.
Absolutely. So during the year of COVID, I spent quite a bit of my time interviewing the female successful entrepreneurs here in the region, and of course airing their interviews on YouTube and different platforms, just to help them overcome the year of COVID. And of course, working with other organizations. I'm working with a few Emirati ladies based in Abu Dhabi. We're setting up a platform for women entrepreneurship. And a very, very important event that I'm going to be hosting with a friend of mine during the month of February is the International Women's Summit. It's all about women empowerment. So I think we're flying in quite a few women from different parts of the world, mainly the US. People along the lines of Oprah Winfrey, Ivanka Trump, and some other famous celebrities that will be flying down to Dubai, especially for this Women Empowerment Forum, which is being organized by my very dear friend, Dr. Daniel Leo Garcia, who's based in the US but has been in Dubai for some time, preparing and organizing for this summit. So it's going to be a very, very big event. We're attracting a very, very huge crowd, not only from the region, but also on a global level. So I think we're all very excited and very much looking forward to this event.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Lara. Always amazing catching up with you, and continue to do what you do, not only for women, but for the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marsha, for having me on the show today. It has been a true pleasure talking to you and wishing you continued growth and success in everything that you do. You're such an inspiration and a role model to a lot of females out there. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the support. I can always look to you for support and for energy. When I need that energy to get going, Lara, always full of energy.
I tell you the same. I tell you the same. Thank you so much, Marsha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.